Good evening, welcome to ITV News. This is Friday night's calendar.
And here are tonight's main stories. First tonight, to the Hull care home worker who says she's heartbroken at having to leave her job because of her decision not to be vaccinated against coronavirus.
Yes, a new condition of employment in England requires all workers in registered care homes to be double jabbed by mid-November, unless they're exempt. But around 7% of those who work in care homes have not had those required jabs.
The Care Quality Commission, which regulates the industry, said last week that there could be a tsunami of unmet need in care services due to staff pressures. Fraser Maud reports.
Well, next tonight, the mother of Libby Squire, who was murdered in Hull nearly 3 years ago, says more needs to be done to stop the rising tide of spiking, which is administered in drinks or, it seems recently, also through an actual needle.
Yes, police say there have been around 200 reports of drink spiking across the UK just in the last 2 months, plus 24 reports of an injection.
Well, I spoke to Lisa earlier today. In the interview, she revealed it was 1,000 days. That's Lisa Squire there speaking to me earlier in an incredibly brave interview which really moved us all here in the newsroom. If any of what you've seen, yes, but off the field, Tony was an altogether different person. Shy, nervous, scared. After his career ended, he struggled to cope and credits Sheffield United with saving his life. Tony's been speaking to our sports reporter, Chris Dawkes. Still to come on the programme, the century-old campaigners say new designs for a major expansion to A&E services in Boston are a slap in the face for the thousands of people in Grantham being told their A&E could be downgraded.
Now, politicians and campaigners from here in our region and all over the world are preparing for 2 weeks of talks on climate change.
Yes, they're heading to Glasgow for the COP26 summit, which is being described as the last chance to prevent the Earth warming up to such a point that the changes simply cannot ever be reversed. James Webster is part of our team who'll be there reporting from the conference. Made at the Glasgow conference could have major repercussions in our region, which historically has been one of the most polluting, but is now equally at the forefront of the battle against climate change.
On calendar next week, in a special report, Michael Billington explores the potential for our region to turn the tide against carbon emissions.
Next tonight on calendar, a mouth cancer survivor from Doncaster is urging people not to miss dental appointments amid fears that cases could now be on the rise because of the COVID pandemic.
Dentists who play a key role in detecting the disease were unable to open for months during lockdown, and some people have been reluctant to return for their regular checkups after restrictions were lifted.
David Harris was left unable to eat or to speak for 2 years after he was diagnosed and had to undergo numerous operations. He spoke out ahead of Mouth Cancer Awareness Month.
Time to look ahead now to the latest episode of All Around Britain, which features a rather special tandem bike scheme in West Yorkshire. Here's Ria Hebden and Alex Beresford.
Well, that looks worth a watch, as is this, because a film telling the story of a Hull soldier's bravery in the First World War has been salvaged and restored after spending more than 100 years, get this, stored in a stock cube tin.
Now, the footage showing Private John, better known as Jack Cunningham, receiving the Victoria Cross, Britain's highest military honour, has now been shown to his descendants for the first time.
And it's hoped his story of bravery can be told in full to future generations of visitors to York Army Museum, as Jonathan Brown reports. Because he loves the port of Grimsby.
Well, let's hope the weather's all right for him. Here's Kerry to tell us what's happening over the weekend. Kerry, thank you. And that's as far as we go tonight. Our next update is at 5 to 11.
The national and international stories are next with Lucrezia Millarini.
But for now, from the team here on Calendar, thanks very much for watching.
And
have a great
Halloween!
weekend. Yeah.